Hi, everybody. It's Joe back on my YouTube channel with Jaime Resendiz. And last time we spoke about YouTube, and today we're going to talk about what type of videos you want to make. Because lots of people make a lot of type of videos, and what type of content could often get overwhelming and confusing. So, Jaime, let's jump right into it.
Let's do
Take
it.
over.
Well, thank you so much for having me back. The important topic or the video selection is incredibly important for real estate agents because we spend all of this time thinking about a video to make, all of this time recording the video, all of this time editing it and distributing. So there's a lot of time, energy going into each one of these videos. So video selection is incredibly important. So really excited to talk about that today. Do you want me to break open into some videos that are working right now?
Should we go into the do's or don'ts first?
Let's go into the do's. I think most people will really appreciate that part first.
Okay, let's go. What are your top good type of videos to do?
The videos that are working right now are geographically based. So one of the most common and the most effective videos that you can make is a city-based video. So a city tour is going to work incredibly well for your YouTube channel at the moment.
Yeah. So if you're selling real estate and you want to make a video, and this is also great because if you don't have a property, you don't have open house or anything like that, and you're starting out, you essentially have to remind yourself, you are not just selling the house, you're selling the community. So doing a tour could be very helpful for a lot of people. And there's also search engine reasons why that's helpful, correct?
100%. So when people are over on Google, that's where a lot of people's journey begins. YouTube is a destination, but it begins over on Google, moving to Dallas, Texas, moving to Orlando, or what does Orlando look like? Cost of living in Orlando. So there's all of these questions that we as people that are looking to move have ourselves. So just think about, what would I need to know if I was going to move to Los Angeles? What would I need to know if I'm going to relocate to another country? What do I need to know? Well, I need to know cost of living. I need to know what it looks like. I need to know, is this place growing? Is it dying? What are the prices? What it looks like? Can I land a job? There's a lot of questions that we as consumers can ask ourselves, and everything that you write down as a real estate agent, you need to make a video answering that on your YouTube channel, because there you're going to become the authority in the space. So anytime somebody types in Orlando, you're going to be able to tell them what it actually looks like through these tours. That's why we start there. Share with them the cost of living so they have an understanding of, well, is my current salary, if I'm pulling my salary from the online world, well, you can move your business in different states, in different cities, obviously, in different countries. So having that understanding is important, and you sharing that information, you become the go-to resource. You're the expert, and people are just going to naturally reach out to you because you gave them the entire playbook. Cost of living, taxes, within reason. You're not an accountant or anything like that. What the community looks like, what the city looks like, things to consider, pros and cons. You become that go-to source.
Right. And even if people don't find it via Google, it's a good thing to hand to them. So when you're starting out, they say, I'm looking in this area. Say, great, I'm happy to help you. I made this video. I think it'll be good for you. Here's the link. Take a look. And you have this nicely prepared thing, and you look that much more professional that you have that at your fingertips. And they say, I'm interested in your community. Great. Let's continue more. In the meantime, check out this video I made. And now I have a video that maybe goes through a certain area. And as I'm thinking, you could have on the screen popping up like price of houses, rent, and certain things. When they see the images, they see the costs, and certain facts come up with you doing a tour. And if that's really well done, that could be powerful. Even if people don't find you on Google through it, for you just to hand to people, not hand, literally email to people. Yeah. The other thing I want to mention is you're saying cities like Orlando, Los Angeles. Well, excuse me, I was thinking Los Angeles. I'm more familiar with it. You mentioned Dallas. These are big cities, and you're not selling the whole city. And so what you could do a video is about the part of your city. So if people search Dallas, Texas for a video, yes, there's going to be a lot of competition, and they're going to come up with everything from the city to the Cowboys to the Mavericks to, the shooting of JFK. Is that Dallas or is that Houston?
Yes, it is. Right downtown.
Right. Like all those different things. But if you get a more specific part of it, then you could be a little more effective. I don't know Texas that well, obviously, from my, last question. But if you take Los Angeles, I do know a little better. And if you say Los Feliz or, Short Hills or one of those, then it's better chance that people will find you and find what you want, because not as many people are doing videos about, I don't know, Beverlywood or Playa del Rey or one of those type of areas. So those will be much more real estate oriented. And that's actually what you want. You want people in your community. So that's the other part about geo-targeting I wanted to mention.
Yeah, that's a great point, Joe. And here, let's
And
take
also,
that
not to
and
interrupt
expand
you,
it.
but doing a tour of all of Dallas on a video could be very difficult.
It can be very difficult, for sure, but that's why we have 2x speed, 3x speed. So really, people want the cliff notes at the end of the day. You're the guide. You're the one that's going to tell me. So it's the same way that you would go to somebody to plan out your wedding or help you plan out your wedding. All right, well, I have a set date of when I want to get married. So now you guide me through this. What vendors should I work with? What X, Y, and Z should happen? What venues are available? All that fun stuff. So that is going to be the real estate agent. So you're wedding the people that are moving in to a home. So you're going to be that person. Now, taking your strategy of selecting neighborhoods. So let's take Dallas. There's Oak Cliff. There is Oak Lawn. There is Bishop Arts. There's a lot of communities that don't make sense to you, to other people that aren't part of the Dallas Fort Worth or even Dallas themselves. But I'm sorry, people are not part of Dallas that don't know it. Well, people that are local, they do know that. They do know these areas. They do know that Bishop Arts, well, the prices of those homes are just elevating through the roof. It's gentrification is happening right there. Same thing with Oak Cliff. So all of these areas, you have that insider information. So you get to highlight that. So not only are you competing with a much fewer people, but you're also providing that hidden gem that people want, that insider secret, right? People want that insider information. And how we take that and really amplify it is we highlight all of those types of communities. So instead of saying Dallas tour, if you will, you could do a Oak Cliff tour, a Bishop tour, a Bishop Arts tour, any other community or neighborhood that's well known, and make a video about that.
And the
So
good
your
part
video
about
actually
that,
stands out.
yeah, I was about to say it stands out because if you're doing Oak Cliff, like a tour about Oak Cliff, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
Oak Cliff. The only people who are looking for that video are people who are looking to live there.
Yeah.
Whereas people who look up videos about Dallas, there's a whole bunch of reasons people could look up that video, from tourism to sports to restaurants to business. But if you're looking up Oak Cliff, not saying Oak Cliff doesn't have those things, but generally speaking, when you're doing those littler communities, you're targeted a potential buyer or a seller, depending on what they want to do.
100%, 100%. So going back to your point, Joe, of providing this resource to people that you're emailing. So people in your database, let's just say your office is in Oak Cliff. That's where my office used to be. I used to be on West Davis, right off the street right there. And people that were, since I was ranking pretty high on Google My Business, people would call me from that community because realtor near me, best realtor near me, top realtor near me, or whatever, my Google ranking would show up quickly. I know this isn't a Google My Business or a Google conversation, but it really is a whole ecosystem that we as real estate agents need to master, because we're selling ourselves. We need to be known. We need to be seen so we can get those calls, right? So there's that prospecting where we're actively working and trying to generate that business, but there's also the inbound marketing where, as we grow our brand, as we grow our name, as we grow our business, more and more people are going to find us. So that lifting of our business is, it's not as challenging as if we were starting from day one.
Great. So that's one type of video. We went to a lot of detail about that. Do you have another good type of video, or do you want to get into the no-nos?
Well, let's talk about one other video that's working on all platforms. So again, we started our series really focused in on video, and we're here on YouTube at the moment and really leaning in on that and what's working. So every single agent, regardless of if you're brand new to the industry or have 30 years in the industry, needs to be making YouTube shorts or short form video is a better way of saying it. So short form video is anything less than 60 seconds and in vertical form. So that means up and down. So whenever your phone is going,
using the old,
it's like this. Exactly. And that's all you need. We're not asking for, we talked about cameras back in the day. In our previous conversation, you don't need a fancy camera. You just need your phone. So the video that you're making is highlighting a home that you're touring. So basically think of what you're doing for the city tours. You're doing that for the home. So it's basically a home video, except you're not going to do what the old school way of making video for your listing. You're not doing that. You're highlighting a very fast-paced, highly engaging, highly attractive video of the property, because the old school way of doing it was allow third-party vendors that are associated with our MLS to take a elevator music and put it almost like a little slideshow, if you will, of the 32 pictures that we uploaded to the MLS. And then they'll put, I don't know if you've seen any of those, Joe, but it's just the whole elevator music slideshow of our property. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a short form video that you can upload to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. So there's 4 platforms that you can
basically
weaponize
under a
with your
minute.
video. What's that?
Under a minute.
Under a minute.
Okay.
Under
So
a minute.
and you could do a lot of them, and you could have a series of them. So that could work. So that's
what
a good
we're doing.
tip. And those are a little
What
easier
we're
to
doing with
do.
our agents right now is weaponizing them every single showing that they go on. So whenever they're going on the afternoons to show the properties, the only thing they have to do is just shoot a 2 to 3 minute video of just panning left, panning right, going into the property, just going slowly with the camera. Again, everything's just, I don't know why I'm using my hands when I could use my phone. So basically you're just going through what you're seeing. And then just that one raw video file gets shot over to our editor that does all of the editing for our agents. They splice it up, cut it up, put a really good engaging soundtrack behind that, and it gets uploaded to their social media and on YouTube. So that's how we're doing it effectively here.
Sounds good. So now the ones that are no, we'll go through those quickly. The big one is the celebrity video, which I guess works, but for the wrong reasons. And we were talking about this before we started recording, is people who really are focusing more on promoting themselves as this cool jet setter, awesome person rather than selling homes. And that just gets out of hand these days. And I don't know what people are thinking. I mean, you got to remember, I may want to hang out with you. I may think you're an awesome person, maybe an attractive person, maybe an interesting intellectual or a great social connection. I don't know, but it doesn't mean I want to spend $1 million with you and go buy a house, and kind of, my brother always said, people will buy what you're selling, and so if you're selling the wrong thing, don't expect them to buy what you want them to buy, and so these celebrity videos, and when I say celebrity videos, I think we're talking about people who are just constantly trying to make themselves seem more popular and famous. When there's a lot of super successful agents out there who have profiles, it's hard to find one picture of them. It's just property. And I'm not saying people have to be that extreme,
right?
But you do get the point that they don't really have interest in selling themselves,
Right. No, you're absolutely right. Really, what we need to recognize as real estate agents is that we're not the hero in the story. We're just not. It's our client. That's the hero. We're the advisor. We're the guide. We're going to help them along, but they're the hero.
And the property is the
oftentimes
product.
we make ourselves the story.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, it's about the client and it's about the property. The client shows the referrals. The client's the one who will say that you're great and have a great experience, and the property and the community is what you're selling. It just drives me nuts. I'm sure you've seen them too. These people, they just want to show that they're like still the popular kid in school, or maybe they are now and they weren't before. Who knows what, therapy they need. Obviously, you can tell it just drives me crazy,
Tell us how you really feel, Joe.
Right. It's just such a problem in today's society. So that's one type of video that's a big no-no, not because it doesn't work, but as I said, it works for the wrong reasons. And if you're trying to sell a home, it's not really the best idea to show pictures of yourself drunk on a Saturday night, you know? What was the other type of
100%.
video? Nothing against people who drink once in a while. Don't make angry comments about that. But
No, I think people know where you're coming from, Joe. And I'm sure a lot of
get the
people
point.
will agree. So
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah. Some people can be very literal when they watch these videos and miss the point.
Fair. So comment down below if you want to cancel Joe. I'm kidding.
No,
everybody knows.
that.
Everybody knows where your heart is at. So that's awesome. Or else you want to have this thriving channel and also this thriving platform. So another video though, as we go into another no per se, is this one is, yes, it's a no, but it makes sense in different places. So what I mean by that is those videos that a lot of real estate agents that are very limited in video, meaning they're making videos every once in a while, and the only videos that they make are market updates. The reason we don't want to make, I really don't have anything against market updates. I have more against how long the shelf life of that information lasts. So you make a market update on July 2021. Well, when's that relevant? Possibly, maybe that month, maybe the month after that. It's basically old news at that point. So a lot of real estate agents, what you're doing, does that make sense? Is the shelf life on it? It's an expiration date.
There's a word you're getting at.
So instantly.
I want to interrupt you for 1 second. So I want to throw out this word. And we said it last time, is evergreen content. Yes. And what these are talking about is the exact opposite of evergreen content. And for those of you who don't know, evergreen content means content that has the same impact whether you watch it today, tomorrow, or in a year. Now, obviously, that can't be all of your real estate content, but I think what Jaime's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the other extreme is having something specific to that very day on something that may not get found until many months later.
100%. And at that point, nobody's going to watch it. That's the issue. So who I'm speaking to out there are the real estate agents that are doing video in such a limited capacity and are only doing that type of video. A video that only makes sense at that point in time, almost to that day, almost to that week, almost to that month. You want content. There is a place for that content, but that shouldn't be your only content, because as soon as you put out that video, guess what? That shelf life, it expires quickly. And now you're under the gun trying to get another video out, researching how many homes sold, how many are still on the market, this, that, or the other. So give yourself some breathing room. Video is supposed to help amplify your time. It's not supposed to stress you out and bring more ill upon your business. Video is going to help you allow it to. So going to your point, Joe, let's get some evergreen content there that's going to make sense if I watch it today or if I watch it 2 years from now. There's some timeless principles that work in real estate. So make some of those videos, pepper in some more current videos that maybe only make sense at this point in time based off of what's going on in the world, and allow that to do some heavy lifting for you. But don't only focus on those videos that just have a very short shelf life. That's just not going to work for you.
Especially because they won't see it so much later, as we said before, because unless you're super popular and have a super strong channel, people aren't going to see it immediately. It usually takes time to grow, which is why it's so difficult to have news channels. Because news, they have to see it immediately. So if some news is 1 week old, you're like, I don't care about seeing that video. I already know what happened. It has to be topical. So that's a really good point. So this was super helpful, unless there's something else you want to add, or was that good for now? So I think that was pretty good.
I think it's good for now. Just some quick tips. If you're looking for video improvement, focus on your audio. Focus on your audio. A lot of you have a super weapon in your purses, in your pockets right now, and that's your phone. So your camera's taken care of. Focus on your audio. Improve that. Every single video that you make out there, make it 1% better, 1% better, 1% better. You're gonna find a world of difference a year from now.
Sounds good. Great tip. All right, Jaime, I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks. Bye.